Hey Sheringham, welcome to my bedroom. I hope you're all doing well. Maybe you're in your bedrooms too. And I'm here to read to you a few pages from Jeremy Strong and the 100-mile-an-hour dog. And when I read it, we're going to practice a couple of skills. We're going to practice clarifying and our inferring. But before we get started, I want you to write down as many of the 5-finger strategies we have when clarifying. I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, you can give yourself a tick if you got these down. Did you have break the word down? Like look at the root word. Read around it. So skip it, see if it makes sense after you've read the paragraph. Replace it. So put in another word there. Does it fit? Can you look at the word type? Is it a noun or an adjective? Has it got a capital letter? Is it a name? And the last one, this is the one I forgot, I had to look it up, is look at the pictures. Okay, there's a few pictures in a 100-mile-an-hour dog, but I don't think we'll be using a lot of that strategy. So let's start reading. Streaker is a mixed up kind of dog. You can see from her thin body and powerful legs that she's got a lot of greyhound blood in her, along with quite a bit of Ferrari and a large chunk of whirlwind. Let's look at the phrase mixed up. Can you see it in your book? I know that mix is like when you mix ingredients together, and mix up kind of is the same. Is that when you mix up all the things together? Like when I yell at you, who mixed up all my papers on my desk? And they're talking about the dog, and I've heard of a type of dog called a greyhound, so I think they're talking about like the dog's breed. Maybe it's a mix of other animals or other species. I know that I had a dog called Charlie, and she was a little bit Dalmatian and she was a little bit blue heeler. So I think Charlie was a mixed up kind of dog, and I think Streaker in the story is a lot like my dog Charlie. Making a little connection there too. Alright, I'm going to read that page again. Streaker is a mixed up kind of dog. You can see from her thin body and powerful legs that she's got a lot of greyhound blood in her, along with quite a bit of Ferrari and a large chunk of whirlwind. Mute my phone too, should I? Ferrari? And that's got a capital F. I think they're talking about the car. A dog can't be a little bit of a car. If I'm going to do some inferring here, if I'm going to read between the lines, I think that they're going to say Streaker is really fast. And if I look at the cover too, I think that evidence of a 100-mile-an-hour dog and the fact that she's a mixed up breed of Ferrari and greyhound, I think I can carefully infer that Streaker is a really fast dog. Nobody in our family likes walking her, and this is hardly surprising. Streaker can out-accelerate a torpedo. She can do 0 to 100 miles per hour in the blink of an eye. She's usually vanished over the far horizon long before you have time to yell, Streaker! I think Streaker's really fast. Dad refuses to walk her, point blank. I've got a backache, he usually excuses. Though how this stops him from walking, I really haven't a clue. Maybe you've got a connection there. Do your parents ever make excuses to get out of things? Does your teacher? I tried something similar once myself. I've got a front ache, I said. Mum gave me a chilly glare and handed me the dog lead. I think the phrase chilly glare, chilly's like cold and glare is like a look. Can someone give you a cold look? I think chilly glare, I think it means like a cold look, like maybe Mum's disappointed. Let's see where I left off. I tried something similar once myself. I've got a front ache, I said. Mum gave me a chilly glare and handed me the dog lead. She'll do anything to get out of walking Streaker too. And that's how the whole thing started. I ended up having the craziest Easter holiday you can imagine. Trevor, said Mum one morning at the beginning of the holiday, and she gave me one of her really big, innocent smiles. I think Mum's going to ask for a favour. Trevor! I should have guessed that something was up. Trevor, I'll give you £30 if you walk Streaker every day this holiday. £30? Wow. Would you walk Streaker for £30? £30? As you can imagine, my eyes boggled a bit. Oh, let's clarify that word boggle. If you have a copy of the book in front of you, you can have a look at the picture. Can you see how the character's eyes are boggling out of his head? Can you clarify what boggled means? I just about had to shove them back in their sockets. I was so astonished I never twigged that my mother was actually suggesting was major bribery. It's the Easter holidays, she continued, climbing onto her exercise bike and pulling out a pink sweatband around her forehead. You've got nothing better to do. What's Mum up to? £30? I repeated. Walk her every day for 2 weeks. Mum nodded and began to pedal. I sat down to have a think. £30 was a lot of money. I could do loads of things with that. On the other hand, and this was the big crunch, I would have to walk Streaker. Can you ever go at replacing the word crunch in your books? I'll read the sentence again in case you don't have it. On the other hand, this was the big crunch. I would have to walk Streaker. Now, if someone came up to you in the street and said, "Hey, what's the worst torture you can think of?" You might suggest boiling in oil or having to watch golf on TV with your dad. Or even the 9 times tables, which is one of my own personal nightmares. But without doubt, I would have to say, walking Streaker. This was going to be a big decision for me. I reckon there had to be some way of controlling Streaker. After all, she was only a dog. Humans are cleverer than animals. Humans have bigger brains. Humans rule the animal kingdom. That's the end of page 10. That's where I'm going to stop now. But if you want to finish reading the chapter, do. All right. Thanks, guys.